Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan condoles Her Excellency the President of the Republic of India on the victims of the passenger plane crash at Ahmedabad Airport. The Minister of Transport, Communications and Information Technology confirms the Ministry's implementation of a number of infrastructure projects in Al-Dhahira Governorate. His Excellency the Foreign Minister confirms that the sixth round of Iranian-American talks will be held in Muscat next Sunday. And 13 Palestinians are martyred and more than 200 others injured by Israeli occupation forces in Gaza Strip. Welcome to our news center. Those were the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of condolences to Her Excellency President Draupadi Murmu of the Republic of India on victims of the passenger plane crash at Ahmedabad Airport, which was bound for the United Kingdom. In the cable, His Majesty expressed his sincere sympathies and sorrow over this tragic incident that claimed the lives of all passengers of various nationalities aboard the aircraft. His Majesty also expressed his heartfelt condolences to the victims' families and the peoples of their respective countries. His Majesty also wished the Republic of India and all countries of the world safety from incidents and disasters. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology locally reviewed the planned projects in the transport and logistics sector in Al-Dhahira Governorate. This was during a meeting between His Excellency Najib bin Ali Al-Rawas, Governor of Al-Dhahira, and His Excellency Engineer Saeed bin Hamoud Al-Mawali, Minister of Transport, Communications and Information Technology. The meeting discussed key ongoing projects in the Governorate, their implementation status, and future infrastructure needs in the transport and logistics sectors. It also addressed periodic maintenance projects for ministry-affiliated roads and communication networks across the Governorate's wilayas and villages, as well as updates on the digital transformation plan for Al-Dhahira. The Minister of Transport, Communications and Information Technology noted that the ministry is preparing to implement several projects to improve road efficiency in Al-Dhahira Governorate. Key projects among these are the Wadi Hibi Road, connecting Al-Dhahira with North Al-Batina Governorate, and the Al-Dhahira Al-Buraimi Link Road. A coordination meeting held today at Dhofar municipality in the Wilaya of Salalah reviewed the implementations on mechanisms of the media plans and preparations for covering Kharif Dhofar season of 2025 events. This comes as part of ongoing coordinations between the Ministry of Information and relevant government entities to highlight the season and the Governorate's tourism potential through local and international media platforms. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Harrasi, Minister of Information, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Muhsin Al-Ghassani, Chairman of Dhofar municipality, and several officials. Discussions focused on the approved media plan for the Kharif season, which includes coverage through Oman TV and radio, Oman News Agency, the Ain platform, digital media and private media outlets. The meeting also addressed the support that Dhofar municipality will provide for various media efforts, along with a visual presentation showcasing the locations of events included in the Kharif Dhofar season of 2025. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, the Foreign Minister, confirmed that the sixth round of talks between the Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America will be held on the 15th of this month in Muscat. These talks come within the framework of efforts aimed at reaching a fair agreement between the Iranian and American sides and bringing their views closer. 13 Palestinians were killed and more than 200 others injured today by Israeli occupation forces near an aid center near the Retzarim checkpoint in the central Gaza Strip. Earlier, 28 Palestinians were killed at this center and dozens were also injured. Over the past few days, the occupation forces have targeted aid distribution points in Rafah and the central Gaza Strip, resulting in dozens of deaths and injuries. Meanwhile, internet and fixed-line communication services were cut off in the Gaza Strip after the Israeli aggression targeted the last major fiber optic cable. The Palestinian Telecommunication Regulatory Commission indicated that digital isolation in the Strip is escalating as a result of the targeting of communications infrastructure, despite all attempts to repair many of the severed and alternative damaged cables. The Commission added that this escalation threatens to completely isolate the Gaza Strip from the outside world and prevents Palestinians from accessing basic services, including relief, health, media, and education. Air India plane crashed shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad Airport in western India. Indian authorities stated that all 242 people died on the plane, which was bound for London and carrying Indian, British, Portuguese and Canadian nationalities. They explained that emergency teams were activated at the scene and that they were gathering more information about the cause of the plane crash. Several Russian drone attacks last night across Ukrainian cities killed at least 3 people and injured 64 others. The northeastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv was among the hardest hit areas, where 17 Russian drones struck 2 residential areas, causing fires and property damage. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky reported that 64 people were injured and called for increased international pressure on Moscow to put an end to the Russian attacks. The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights warned for a funding shortfall of $67 million as a result of reduced contributions for donor countries. The office reported that it is facing a financial crisis that prevents it from providing humanitarian rights to staff in 11 countries. The office stated that it has received only $179 million of its regular annual budget of $246 million so far this year, leaving it at a deficit of $67 million US. It indicated that the number of displaced persons worldwide has risen to more than 122 million this year. At least 57 people have died in South Africa's Eastern Cape province after violent floods swept across the region. The disaster struck late Tuesday following a powerful storm that brought heavy rain, strong winds and snowfall. Among the victims were 6 students who were swept away after their bus became stranded near a river near the town of Matata. 4 other students remain missing. In Muscat, the Gulf Capital Market Association Conference reviewed the opportunity for establishing a unified regional financial market amongst other vital finance sector topics. Here are more details in this report. The regulations of the Omani capital market and the regulatory environment have witnessed a significant progress in recent years. In Muscat, the Gulf Capital Market Association Conference reviewed the updates on credit status in the region, opportunities for establishing a unified regional financial market, and stimulation of financing for Omani companies, especially for small and medium enterprises.
This conference brings together more than 150 participants from capital markets. It talks about the development that happened in the capital market of Oman, along with the potential that will come in the future with the strategy that the capital market, which is FSA with MSX as well as the MCD, that has been implementing for the last 4 years. It brings as well an outlook of what's happening in Oman, GCC, as well as the regional Middle East and the US new tariffs of customs that has been imposed and the impact of those customs to Oman's economy.
This conference is important to reflect the improvement that happened in MSX during the last 6 months, considering the infrastructure, the regulations and the legal framework, improvement of the liquidity, especially the new participants that been introduced by OIA itself and the different initiatives. Also they talk about the geopoliticals and the outlook of the global economy, considering the American tariffs and that effect on the GCC economies and the oil prices.
This conference brings together a selected group of leaders, experts and enthusiasts to discuss the future and vision of capital markets, challenges and opportunities, and to exchange experiences in this aspect, in addition to a session on the latest features of the Omani, Gulf and global economies.
We've seen some effective good volume in Oman after so many initiatives came out from MSX. I think this is which is where we are looking. The stability and the growth of the world economy is also a key role of where can be our markets and other GCC market take the places. What affect now us the effect of what happened the U.S. tariff on the world on the oil price, and that is the main subject which is affecting the most of the market in the GCC and the growth of the economy in the GCC.
Furthermore, the market capitalization of Muscat Stock Exchange has reached 28 billion and 400 million Omani riyals, while the trading value since the beginning of this year has approached 739 million Omani riyals. These figures reflect increasing attractiveness to investors and growing local and global confidence in the Omani market. The Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones OPAZ has launched a major development tender in Al-Dhahira Governorate. The project, a part of the first phase of Al-Dhahira Integrated Economic Zone, aims to transform the EZ Square into a vibrant administrative and commercial hub. More details to follow up in this report.
The Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones announced a tender for the construction of the administrative and commercial buildings complex in the economic zone at Al-Dhahira EZ Square, IP4. The tender includes the construction of the main square of Al-Dhahira Integrated Economic Zone, a business center, an administrative building, a commercial center, as well as a hotel and a health center. The scope of work includes the execution of civil works, electrical and mechanical systems, and steel structures for the buildings. It also covers external works such as the construction of internal roads, sewage networks, water and irrigation systems, and landscaping. The authority invited experienced Omani Saudi consortiums to submit bids via the electronic tendering platform ISTNAD. It's worth noting that the land area allocated for the complex is approximately 50,000 square meters, with the first phase covering a built-up area of around 17,000 square meters with the potential to expand to 38,000 square meters. Also, a 6.5 square kilometer will be developed as an initial phase of the integrated economic zone in Al-Dhahra Governorate.
Thank you, Afra. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. And before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan condoles Her Excellency the President of the Republic of India on the victims of the passenger plane crash at Ahmedabad Airport. The Minister of Transport, Communications and Information Technology confirms the ministry's implementation of a number of infrastructure projects in Al-Dhahra Governorate. His Excellency the Foreign Minister confirms that the 6th round of Iranian-American talks will be held in Muscat next Sunday. And finally, 13 Palestinians are martyred and more than 200 others injured by Israeli occupation forces in Gaza Strip. With that, we do come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night, stay safe and enjoy your Thursday evening.